Good? Okay, sorry. Okay, hello. This meeting is for our competition cheer teams for this coming year. So sorry. Oh, perfect. Okay, we will go over all these slides and then this video will be saved to where you can go look back at it later, or the slides will be sent out. Yes? Okay. And then we'll have some questions that you can comment on at the end. In order for you to comment, you have to be logged in. So either viewing it on your phone or if you're on your computer, you have to be logged in order to comment. These are the other parent meetings. So tomorrow we have our dance teams, our company, and our high school company. Same thing as this one. If you can't watch those live, you can go back and watch the recording. This one, again, is for our competition cheer team. We are focused on high school prep. So it's a competitive cheer program specifically tailored to the high school cheer curriculum. Our goal is to prepare athletes for high school cheer teams. We do have changes coming to our gym and size of program. So there was an email sent out about that. There's a few changes. Alex, who's been the director for lots of years, is leaving and I will be taking over. We are also taking our gym down to about half the size it is now to just accommodate for just different sizes. So our gym will be, it's hard to specify, but yes, our gym will be half the size. We're gonna turn the mats so they still fit our cheer program. I've had multiple tumblers in like just that one size to make sure that we still fit. We've planned our team sizes out based on like how much room we can have for each kid specifically. So we think it'll still be a great fit for the cheer teams we have. It's, for reference, like 1,100 square feet. So still a ton of room, a ton of space. And we feel really confident in like the team numbers we've put out there and that we can still train like long passes, short passes, whatever they need to go to high school. We can still train in that space. So our high school prep includes show cheer routines, which is our main cheer routine where they start with a cheer and then they go on to a dance. They have their stunts, tumbling, all of it combined. We have our pom routines that 2 of our 3 teams will be doing. That's just a little bit funner dance routine that also has an emphasis once they go to high school. And then we'll also offer our 5-man stunt groups. We've offered that the last couple years. It's not based on team. It's not you're automatically put into it. We will have a later meeting based on those that you can pick specifically. We can line up stunt groups for you and then they compete at the competitions as well. But it's extra time, extra practice outside of normal hours. All focusing on precision, synchronization, and athleticism. With a well-rounded training approach, athletes develop essential individual skills while also honing their ability to work as a team, setting them up for success in the world of competitive cheerleading. So we really try to focus on high school. We have a great focus that turns them into great high school athletes, but it's also a great beginning or intermediate point for really any cheerleader that wants to get their feet going in cheer, and then there's different opportunities as well. Our 3 team levels are beginning, intermediate, and advanced. So beginning, we're looking for walkovers or like working on walkovers, back or front, cartwheels, round-offs, and then our stunts are all below prep level. So if you're familiar with stunts, prep level is like right at your chest. So our little beginning doesn't go over that. And then a single toe touch. Intermediate is back handsprings. If they're coming to tryouts, if they have a light spot on back handsprings, that's fine. Prep and extension stunts, so those stunts are going up over their head, and then a double toe touch. And then advanced is standing and running tucks and higher, so anything above that, tumbling wise. And then extended stunts, everything's at extension, and then 2 jumps in a row, so 2 different jumps. And we just specified that because that's what we will do at tryouts, and those are the skills we'll look for to be able to put them on the team. Commitment. So once you've made a team, it's a priority. Commitment level is different than just our rec program. Athletes will need to commit to consistent attendance to class and events. So what that means is during the season, during summer intensives, they need to be there as much as possible. Extracurriculars need to be planned around cheer. Vacations need to be planned around cheer. Like, cheer has to become our priority as much as it possibly can. When it gets closer to comp season, we have blackout weeks that you can't miss. And I think this is such a big issue in cheer because it's a safety issue. We're lifting girls in the air, and I don't think you personally want your kid being lifted in the air if their base is missing every other week. So we have to kind of draw a line and make sure that everyone that's coming to cheer is committed and can make sure they're always at practices. So, and it's not just when we go up to comp season, it's also like throughout the year. If they're missing too much choreography and they're just not keeping up, then that's just something we can't do. So make sure like your commitment level's there and you're prepared to make some of those sacrifices. Registration opens at 10 a.m. on April 15th. So that's this Wednesday. $40 by May 8th. And then if you don't register by May 8th, it's $50. Oh, I'm sorry, $50 after May 6th or not attending auditions. So the deadline to register is May 8th. So you have to be registered by May 8th or you can't come to auditions. Our auditions are really close after that. And so we kind of just need to get stuff set up for auditions, and we need to make sure everyone's registered and ready to go. Registering for auditions is a 2-step process. It's repeated on the screen multiple times because a lot of people forget. So make sure you're going through both steps. If you didn't go through a 2-step process, then we did something wrong. The first step is you'll fill out the online registration form with all the questions that we need to know to register your student, and then you will be redirected to the parent portal. So form first, you should answer a bunch of questions, and then it will take you to your parent portal. Don't start in the parent portal. Just make everything easy and start on the form. The second step is go to the parent portal, click on register, find the audition tab, and then pick the audition time slot based on what competitive team your student is trying out for. So that will be like their age. So it's all based on age when they come to tryouts. And their age as of January 1st, 2027. So not their current age, what they will be going into comp season is what they will try out as this year. And then just make sure you sign up for an audition slot. So like the actual time. Audition video, there's no audition videos for cheer. We will come and we'll learn to dance. Usually just a quick combo with some good motions. So really focus on their cheer motions and just like overall performance. And then they'll do jumps, tumbling. We won't do any stunting in auditions just because it's too hard as far as learning new stunts and stuff. So it'll just be jumps, tumbling, and then a little bit of performance and some motions. And then those are the times. So May 11th, 5 to 6 p.m. is our minis, which is our 6 to 8 years. And again, it's their age based on 2027. So don't go off their current age if they're going to have a birthday before then. 6:15 to 7:15 is junior, which is 9 to 11 years. And then 7:30 to 9 is senior, which is 12 plus. So again, we're just doing ages. So like if there's a 12-year-old that might not be advanced, they're more beginning, that's fine. They'll just come with the rest, and then we will place them on teams as we need to. In-person auditions, May 11th. I went over that. Auditions will include the warm-up, tumbling, and then just other impromptu skills like we talked about. Dress appropriately for audition. I really want their hair to be slicked back just so they're not playing with it and touching it while they're trying to do stuff. Especially when they're nervous, I think they'll touch anything they possibly can. So make sure their outfit is tight. They don't want to sit and play with anything. Make sure their hair is slicked back. All black is not required. They can wear whatever. They can wear bows, however that wants to be. And then all of our auditions will be recorded. If you're going to be out of town. So it's important to go to in-person auditions. If you think you'll be out of town, you must still fill out an audition form. You'll mark on the audition form not attending auditions, and then in your parent portal under the audition tab, you will not sign up for an audition time. You will click on cheer and then not attending. And you have to do this step and pay the $50 fee by the deadline, right? It's still the same deadline, so May 8th. So even if you're not going to be in town, make sure you get that done. If you don't register just because you think you're not showing up, like we put all the names together and we wouldn't be able to know who's where. So if you are out of town, your audition will be during the first week of intensives. So those dates will be listed a little bit later in the slides, but you'll get assigned to an intensive, and then you'll have to wear a number and participate in the classes, and then there will be like specific coaches watching to see where they should put you. The audition results will be posted on May 27th in the parent portal, not the website. Your whole team will be listed for you to see, and your intensive required week information will be posted on the results page at the same time. The only thing that won't be available is the fall schedule, but it will be available before you sign your contract. So you can decide if those days all line up and work. If we feel over summer intensive, we need to make any changes, we'll take the necessary action. That's anything like levels, moving kids around, ages, stuff like that, if it's just not lining up. Results are determined by audition and the previous season's work ethic and attendance record. So like we talked about the commitment level, if we had any past issues with commitment levels on teams and stuff like that, then that does get factored into tryouts. Directors in office will not respond to any emails or messages about results until June 1st during normal office hours. Contracts for team will open June 15th through June 30th. All contracts are due by June 30th and no late contracts. Read over everything carefully. It'll just explain kind of the commitment level. It'll explain all your costs. Those contracts have a lot of information in them, and so just make sure you're going through it. You must fill out and sign the contract for your student to be placed on a cheer team. The summer intensives are required, and the entire time too. So I think we've had an issue where they know their weeks, but then they don't realize it's every day of the week for that many hours. The entire intensive is required. So they have to show up the whole week and for all the hours, obviously as much as they can. Assigned by audition results, all groups will have a sister group. The cheerleaders can attend intensives with their sister group if needed. Camp style, so they're intensives. They run a week at a time, Monday through Thursday for a block of specific hours. The requirements, the cheer teams do 2 weeks. So 2 weeks during the summer. June and July, teams are assigned to 1 week in June and 1 week in July, except there will be an exception. So the summer intensives will be listed and one of our teams will come 2 weeks in June and none in July. So it's just kind of how it lined up this year. So here's that schedule. Like when we look at team 1, team 2, team 3, what we're kind of thinking is like team 1 will be the beginning, team 2 will be intermediate, and team 3 will be advanced. So that will be the summer intensive dates. Week 1 is June 8th through 11th. That'll be team 2. Week 2 is June 15th through 18th. That's team 1 and 3. Week 3 will be June 22nd through 25th, and that's team 2. Week 4, which is the second week in July, the first week of intensives, we're not going to have any cheer teams. Week 5 is July 13th through 16th, and that's team 1 and 3. And then the hours for team 1 and 2 will be 4:30 to 7:30, and then team 3 will be 4:30 to 8:30. We purposely scheduled them that way so that team 2 being kind of that middle team, if people are missing 1 and 3, they can go to 2, or if anyone has to miss the weeks of team 2, then they can pick one of the other ones to go to. The only thing with that I suggest is we do start stunting in the summer. So I like that there's options available, but please try to be in the intensive that your team makes. Try not to move those around as much as possible, just because that could affect like their stunting and placement for the rest of the season, honestly, depending on how far we get. Summer tuition schedule. Tuition can vary. Intensive tuition will process automatically the Wednesday before the week you attend. So week 1 starts June 8th. Tuition will run for that week on Wednesday, June 3rd. So the summer tuition schedule, team 1 will be $125 a week, team 2 will be $125 a week, and then team 3 will be $145 a week. And that's just because the different hours. Tumbling is included in cheer intensives. We will train a ton of tumbling. There's no tumbling camps this year. Instead, you'll just book directly with the coach for a private or small group lesson, and then we will post more information on that. I guess I'm going to go back to that really fast. I would suggest, I just want to put this on the top of everyone's heads real quick, with the team especially that's not coming in July. These cheerleaders, if possible, do need more tumbling training than just 1 week out of a month, if possible. So just keep that in mind as you're going into summer. We can get them into just a little bit more. Fall season is August 3rd through the end of April. That's the cheer teams only. We have our cheer showcase at the end of April, just so we're not too far away from comp. We can do showcase and then we can move into auditions. Fall season tuition and fees. Tuition is due monthly. Tuition is not prorated for missing classes. Attendance is essential. Team fees are due monthly in 6 payments, so that's July through December. And then team fees paid in full need to be paid by August 10th with a check or cash, and then there's a 3% discount on those. Not included in your fees is warm-up, makeup, and shoes. This breakdown will be available in your parent portal for you to see, but the 6 to 8 beginning is $125 for tuition, the 9 to 11 team is $145, and the 12 plus is $165. And we're looking at the beginning team will be 3 hours, intermediate will be 4, and then advanced will be 5. And that can always change just depending on kind of how the teams and levels work out. That is tentative as of right now. So that's an idea, but those will be final when they go to sign their contract. And then our comp fees are attached there. Do I go through all of them? Yeah, okay. Showcase, there is a showcase fee. So for team 1 and 2, it's $120. Team 3 is $130. Extra rehearsals, those pop up during the year. And it's for team 1 and team 2, it's $70. For team 3, it's $100. Our comp entries, and those, yes, those are current, right? Okay. The comp entries are $90 for team 1 and team 2, and then $180 for team 3. Cheer uniform is $250 for all teams. Music licensing is $55. The practicum, the stunt clinic we have to go to is $70. Extra palm signs, stuff like that. And then office and event staffing is $30. So total fees for team 1 and 2 is $685. And then for team 3, it's $815. So then if you do the 6-month payments, it's $114.67 for team 1 and 2, and then $135.83 for team 3 is the breakdown on that. July through December on those months. And then the additional fees, the shoes range from $80 to $130, just depending on which brand and shoe you go with. The warm-up jacket is $80 to $100. The warm-up pants are $40 to $50, and then the backpack is about $60 to $70. The makeup varies just depending on what we go with and where it comes from. Competitions. So we're going to do 3 cheer comps. Unfortunately, we don't have the dates and locations on those. We should have them really soon, and we can get those out to you so you can see them. Those are February through April. So we try to do 1 a month, just depending on how the schedule falls. And then there's a mandatory stunt clinic. Last year it was in August, and we can't go to their competitions without doing their stunt clinic. So everyone needs to be available and come to that stunt clinic. If you don't, then they make you make it up before comps. And just if there's no one else to go with, then you would be going alone with other studios. Performances, there's a showcase in February and April. That's Synergy Showcase that we put on for just the cheer teams. The practicum is the same as our cheer comps. It runs the same. We just go and get scored. It's usually in February, just a week or so before our very first competition. Extra practices, they could start as early as November, and we could have them leading all the way up to comp, usually Fridays and Saturdays, and then we try to give at least 3 weeks notice as much as we can. And those are mandatory. We give as much notice as possible so that everyone can make it. when we're doing those extra practices, it's usually because we need extra stunting or the routine just needs extra work with everyone involved. New uniforms. So they get new uniforms every season. So that will include uniform, socks if it comes with it, a combo. And then those are included in your cheer fees already. And then additional items that you'll have to pay for is shoes, which will be the same as last year. So if they still fit and they're not too beat up, you're more than welcome to wear them. Makeup, warm-up jacket and pants, and backpack are all extra. No practice uniform. We'll just request that they wear black on their choreography days, and then their other day they can wear whatever they want. Okay, we are at the end of the slideshow. Again, if there's like specific questions about the slides or anything like that, all of this we can go back and watch, but we are open for any questions anyone has.
I'll just stay on for a couple minutes.
Perfect. So this question is, can you address the team sizes and how it compares to this year? So our goal and plan is for our first two teams, so our beginning and intermediate, and I will emphasize to not get too hung up on the levels, because if we have a handful of girls that are all intermediate, then that's how our teams could land, or they could land a beginning too. So those two teams will be 16 kids, and then if we have an advanced team, it will be 14. In comparison to this year, our advanced team has 15 kids, I want to say. Our intermediate has 17 and our beginning has 13. But we do have two intermediate teams. So comparison-wise, like the team sizes are pretty close to what they were, give or take a few kids. Yes. Hopefully that answers your question. And our overall, I guess I will add with that, our overall number, like if we're adding up those numbers between the three teams, and comparison to how many we had this year and how many are leaving and graduating, like we're sitting pretty good to be accommodating with our teams. Okay, I think we're gonna log off. If there's any questions, you can email like registration at Synergy, or the email that was sent out about the gym and everything like that has my email. And I also think some of the parents have other ways to contact me too. Feel free to contact me in any way before registration and